Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is March 2nd of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a apocalyptic event, an earth-changing moment, a watershed moment in time in the next 48 hours. So, for those of you that are unaware of what's going on the evening of March 2nd is the 97th Academy Awards, the Oscars, in Los Angeles, California. And it is highly likely that the CIA is going to seize this made-for-TV event to stage an earth-changing event. And then on the day of March 3rd and March 4th, March 4th is Trump's historic speech to Congress. And so the CIA is planning to stage a Trump dissolution of presidency event, specifically to trigger a civil war in the United States prior to that day. So we have the evening of March 2nd, the date of March 3rd, and the date of March 4th, which the next 48 to 60 hours, where the CIA is going to capitalize and try to basically turn the world upside down prior to these events taking place. So exactly what is planned is obviously not known, but the top five off the bat are: the CIA is planning on staging an alien, asteroid, comet, meteor, or meteorite-based impact event. I just published plots that I discovered for these events, impact events targeting Bali, Indonesia, and the East Indies, Ireland, as well as Rio de Janeiro and Brazil. The second most likely event is that the CIA is going to stage a nuclear terror attack. This will be blamed on China, Iran, or Russia, or Pakistan. But the CIA is going to stage a nuclear terror attack, most likely 9/11 style, via stealth bomber or via ICBM, nuclear intercontinental ballistic missile. This may be a targeted attack or accidental, but a nuclear attack is in fact planned. Thirdly, number three is a biological outbreak. Basically, what the CIA is trying to do is to do exactly what they did during the first Trump presidency, which is as soon as he gets everything in order and the economy starts booming, then they're going to lock it all down. And so that's what they did last time, and they plan on doing this before he can even implement the measures in order to resurrect the dying economy of the United States. And I just published reports in the last 48 to 72 hours regarding biological outbreaks targeting the Amish community in eastern United States, as well as the Carnival of Brazil, ongoing in Brazil, and North Korea. Considering that it is Ramadan, the holy month in Islam, it's highly likely that the CIA would stage a biological outbreak emanating from the Middle East, possibly the Hajj in Saudi Arabia. The fourth most likely event is that the CIA is going to stage some sort of chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear terror attack by an Islamic terror group such as Al-Qaeda, ISIS, or the Taliban. And this is going to be blamed on China, Iran, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, etc. to start World War III. And this is going to be most likely targeting the United States, most likely targeting the east coast of the United States, such as Baltimore, Boston, New York, Washington, D.C., and possibly Chicago. And then the top five, rounding out the top five, is the Trump dissolution of presidency event. I'm going to get into this in a minute in more depth, but the CIA is planning to knock Trump out before he concludes his speech to Congress on the date of March 4th. And this is specifically because Trump, they do not want Trump to appear presidential. They had their stooge, their minion, Vladimir Zelensky, come to the White House and totally disrespect them and purposely try to piss off Trump, and because they're planning on knocking him out, which I'm going to go into the possible scenarios. But it's highly likely that Donald J. Trump will no longer be president by the date of March 4th. Um, really quick, the likelihood that the CIA is going to stage attacks in the United States blamed on ISIS or Islamic terrorists is basically blinking red. And so, given that the Russo-Ukrainian peace talks are ongoing and the Israeli-Hamas hostage exchange is ongoing, and then we have the DOGE investigation, basically an audit of the federal government led by Elon Musk, as well as a budget bill. I think it's a $2 trillion budget bill for the United States. It's just passed the House and is waiting a Senate vote. And then we have this Trump address to Congress on March 4th. It's highly likely that the CIA is going to basically stage an attack to upend this. And so what can be expected is, considering the parties involved, they're going to stage ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Taliban-based attacks that are scapegoated onto Russia, which is precisely why they just staged a few months ago the Crocus attack in Moscow. They've also staged attacks in Moscow targeting the St. Petersburg subway, which were subsequently blamed on ISIS. And so there's a possibility of the CIA staging Russian-backed Islamic attacks, and then they would stage Russian-backed or Russian attacks, which are going to be executed by Ukrainian special forces, specifically to disrupt these peace talks. Also, considering the Israeli-Hamas attacks or hostage negotiation is ongoing, it's highly likely that the CIA is going to stage false flag Hamas-based attacks in the United States. One particular plot that I uncovered is that on the date of the 3rd or the 4th, the CIA is going to stage a horrific attack targeting American universities, including but not limited to Barnard College in New York, University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities, Columbia U in New York, Harvard in Cambridge, George Washington University in Washington, D.C., New York University in New York City, UCLA in Los Angeles, Berkeley in San Francisco, USC in LA, Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, or Northwestern in Chicago. And that is because today the Jerusalem Post published a report stating that Israeli terror, that was a Freudian slip. Israeli defense forces are practicing with those 10 universities minus Barnard College, where there was an Hamas riot last Friday, designed to preview this impending attack. They're working with those last 10 universities I named for anti-terror operations. And this is precisely why the CIA staged all these anti-Islamic terror attacks, anti-Israel protests at all of our college campuses across the United States, specifically to foreshadow, and then this likely provided logistics cover for these impending attacks, which will be executed by the IDF. So essentially, Israeli terrorists from the IDF in mass will attack U.S. universities and colleges, likely spawning a second global biological pandemic, because they're going to use biological weapons, chemical weapons, gas, as well as weaponized contagions such as smallpox, anthrax, Ebola, and they're going to basically massacre hundreds, if not thousands, of American students and professors and staff, specifically to trigger a U.S.-Iran nuclear war. And so that is one of the attacks that the CIA is going to execute this week, most likely on the 3rd or the 4th. And Barron Trump is as a student at New York University, and so it's highly likely that he would be killed or tortured or held hostage by Israeli terrorists, just as they did during the October 7th attacks, which coincidentally attacked the peace activists in Israel, which want a two-state solution. So they basically eliminated people that are opposed to Zionism. You can research that if you're interested. So basically, the CIA wants to disrupt these ongoing peace negotiations that Donald Trump is trying to initiate between the Russo-Ukrainian war and the Israeli-Hamas war, as well as to stop the DOGE investigation by Elon Musk, and to hijack basically the United States and take it to DEFCON level prior to the conclusion of Trump's speech on March 4th. So I published a number of reports in respect to the impending arrest of Donald J. Trump. I could list those. I've done so ad nauseum. But considering that the speech is on Tuesday the 4th, I'm just going to basically list the most likely assassination events that are planned for this event, because what the CIA is planning to do is to kill Trump in public. The assassination event, July 13th of 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania, where this bullet allegedly nicked his ear and blood was drawn and he was tackled by Secret Service. This was designed to show that Trump is in danger. Obviously, if the CIA wanted to kill him that day, they could have, but they want to wait because they want him to be, that's why they allowed him to win the presidency, is so that they can assassinate him, and then when he's assassinated, it will be the assassination of a sitting U.S. president, which will take the United States to war with whoever the CIA in Switzerland blames it on. So at this point right now, they've created a couple patsies, or I should say countries, whom they plan to blame it on. Namely, 3 days before the Butler assassination attempt, the CIA spawned the narrative that Iran is trying to assassinate Trump. And Trump, for whatever reason, has outlined a plan. I guess it's in writing that if he is in fact assassinated by Iran, that he has instructed the U.S. to respond with extreme force to wipe Iran off the map. And so that is the plan. So given that this high-profile event, this speech is on March 4th, it's 100% sure that the CIA is going to assassinate Trump. If they don't do it in public, I would be very surprised. But the most likely event is that he is ambushed on the way into the Capitol building, or he suffers some sort of a stroke or heart attack, or sniper event, but they're going to kill him on camera. They want this to be a terrorizing event because they want to use this. They want to replay it 1 million times, 1 billion times, because we're going to go to war with whoever they blame it on. So I'm just going to list basically over the last week, there's been a number of plots that I've uncovered regarding the impending assassination of Donald J. Trump. I'm just going to list a few of them. Being killed in a car crash, a golf cart crash, limousine crash, helicopter crash, or plane crash. Being murdered under the guise by U.S. Capitol Police, D.C. Metro Police, or Secret Service under the guise of an accidental weapons discharge. A stalker assassination based death event. Being killed by the aforementioned police agencies under the guise of being restrained after allegedly attacking police officers, a cancer diagnosis which results in his death or hospitalization or immediate surgery or coma or incapacitation, being killed under the guise of a Ukrainian revenge attack in the aftermath of kicking Vladimir Zelensky out of the Oval Office and refusing to fund their stupid war against Russia, being killed in Air Force One or Marine One, possibly under the guise of an Iranian attack, possibly via a drone attack or a man-pad attack, being killed under the guise of an anti-trans or transsexual, transgender revenge attack, most likely a mass shooting assassination, being killed in an Islamic terror attack, ramming attack, being killed by a lone gunman, possibly U.S. Armed Forces, DEI, or a government worker. The latter two being fired by Trump and his advisor Elon Musk, or suffering some sort of direct energy weapon-related attack, which results in a seizure, heart attack, brain aneurysm, stroke, something to that effect. So just to recap, the next 48 to 60 hours is hyper critical, especially in the United States, and because the CIA is absolutely desperate to basically abort the Trump presidency by any means necessary, even if they have to set off a few nukes, start a second global biological pandemic, stage a bunch of Islamic terror attacks, or even stage an asteroid attack, comet strike. They are planning on turning the world upside down in the next 48 hours, and they're going to use the Oscars. And this event, if Trump is in fact eliminated, then they're going to use this event on March 4th. The address to Congress will be given by J.D. Vance, and this will usher in a new era in American politics. Trump will be dead. J.D. Vance will be the new president, and that's why they plan to eliminate Trump before this, so that J.D. Vance can address Congress. In respect to the Oscars, they're going to use all their celebrity power to draw millions of viewers in all over the world, while they use this event to basically stage a made-for-TV. They're going to make a movie. It's not a coincidence that Alec Baldwin, who plays Trump on Saturday Night Live, allegedly shot a Ukrainian cinematographer, Elena Hutchinson, I believe her name was, under the guise of an accidental discharge, because they're planning on making a movie. And this movie starts tonight during the Oscars. So they're going to use the Oscars as a platform to stage mass attacks. This is, I identified this CIA blueprint, if you will, back when I exposed the 9/11 style nuclear terror attack targeting the Super Bowl XLV in Dallas, Texas, back on February 6th of 2011. So the CIA uses live events to terrorize humanity and because of streaming, this Oscars is being streamed all across the world. So I don't know what the collective or sum total of viewers will be, but it's likely going to be reaching over 1 billion people on all the television and internet streaming platforms. Consequently, the CIA plans to seize upon this moment to stage one or more of the aforementioned events that I detailed. It's really simple. It's going to be an asteroid strike, a nuclear attack, a biological outbreak as pretext for a second global biological pandemic, or a CBRN related Islamic terror attack, or a Trump dissolution of presidency event. That's the top 5. That's the five most likely things that are going to happen tonight or prior to Trump giving a speech to Congress on March 4th. And so the CIA plans to seize upon this opportunity, and with the whole world watching, to basically turn the world upside down. So obviously that cannot be allowed to happen. So in the event that the CIA stages any of the aforementioned attacks or terror events or natural disasters, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.